Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com.
How is a person who is left-handed to wear the tefillin of a righty? Being that according to statistics, left-handed people only account for about 10% of the world population, 1 out of every 10 tefillin wearers is a lefty, while 9 out of 10 is a righty. If a right-handed person does not have tefillin available, he can quite easily find the tefillin of another right-handed person to wear. However, if a left-handed person does not have his left-handed tefillin available, which is meant to be worn on his right arm, then there's high chances that he may not find someone with tefillin worn on the right arm as a lefty. And the question is, what does he do? How can he put on the tefillin of one who is right-handed? This question especially comes up during Mivtzoyim, when people go out with their pair of tefillin and merit other Jews to wear them, that if they meet someone who is left-handed, they need to know how to put the tefillin on them, using their right-handed tefillin, which is worn on the left arm. And certainly this applies to one who is bringing his left-handed tefillin, which is worn on his right arm, to do Mivtzoyim with, as 9 out of every 10 Jews will be a righty. And the question will be, how should he put the tefillin on them? So the good news is that the tefillin of both one who is right-handed and left-handed is practically exactly the same. All the required validations and criteria of tefillin of a right-handed person is likewise applicable for tefillin of a left-handed person. And there's no difference at all in the kashrus between them, and therefore technically one who is right-handed can wear the tefillin of a left-handed person on his left arm, and one who is left-handed can wear the tefillin of a right-handed person on his right arm. Where does the problem come in? The problem comes in regarding the yud. You see, it's a halacha l'Moshe Sinai that a yud knot must be made adjacent to the bias of the tefillin shel yad. And this yud is meant to be facing towards the heart. This is where the problem comes in. When a lefty puts on the tefillin of a right-handed person on his right arm, it ends up that the knot of the yud faces outside, not towards the heart. And the same applies vice versa when a right-handed person places on the tefillin of one who is left-handed on his left arm, that the yud will be facing towards the outside and not towards the heart. And therefore the question is, what should one do? Is wearing the tefillin in such a way kosher? Does one have to undo the knot of the yud and redo it on the other side so it faces inwards? Or can one simply put on the tefillin backwards, having the normal back part of the bias, which is called the mabarta, face towards the inside of the elbow, while the tzitza face towards the shoulder, in a way that's opposite of the way it's normally worn? This will, of course, allow the knot of the yud to face towards the heart, even when he's wearing the tefillin of one who is opposite-handed. So the poskim deal with this question, and we find the following options recorded. Some poskim rule that the best option is simply undo the knot of the yud and retie it on the other side and make it into a tefillin of your arm. So if you're a lefty borrowing a right-handed person's tefillin, then you undo the knot and redo it on the opposite side of the tzitza. So when you put it on your right arm, the yud will face inwards just like your own tefillin. So rules the Nachla Shiva, the Kids Shulchanaruch, the Bir Halacha Name of Chaya Adam, and others. If this is not possible, then the poskim say you should follow the second approach that we will momentarily mention. However, before doing so, we must say that many poskim negate this approach of undoing the knot of the yud and then redoing on the opposite side, and rather even initially say that you should do the following option, which is to put the tefillin on backwards. Have the mabarta facing towards the front, towards the elbow, with the tzitza facing towards the shoulder. So rules the Shvus Yankiv, the Berhetiv, the Machzis HaShekel, Yeshuas Yankiv, the Atzis Chaim, the Orach HaShulchan, the Kafar Chaim, the Kids Shulchanaruch, Bir Halacha, and other poskim. And practically this is the final ruling, and this may even be initially followed, especially if one does not know how to untie or redo the knot, or if the owner may not want him to do so. If you're short on time, such as on Mivtzoyim, you cannot take the time to undo and redo the knot by every single person's handedness. So once again, to summarize, bottom line, you're wearing the tefillin of a person who's opposite-handed. Simply put on the tefillin backwards with the mabarta facing towards the front. Now when doing so, you have to be careful to properly fasten the tefillin onto your bicep so it doesn't fold over, as it has to obviously touch your bicep. Now what is the reason that we allow the tefillin to be put on this way and don't simply say put it on normally and have the yud face outwards? So the answer is as follows. Number one, according to halacha, there is no requirement whatsoever regarding in what direction the bias of the tefillin must be worn. If the mabarta should face up or face down, halachically you can put it on whatever way you want. However, it's a custom written in Shulchan Aruch that it's proper to wear it with the mabarta facing towards the shoulder. But this is not an invalidating issue. And therefore, when it's not possible, such as when wearing the tefillin of someone who's opposite-handed than you, then you can compromise on this aspect of good respect. However, the wearing of the knot of the yud inwards towards your heart, although this too is also only a good custom and does not invalidate the wearing of the tefillin if worn the opposite way, nonetheless, this is a closer matter to being from the letter of the law and being required, as the pasuk says, al levavchem, than is the matter of the direction of the bias. And therefore it is better to compromise on the direction of the bias than to compromise on which side the yud faces. Nonetheless, b'di'evid, if the tefillin was worn in such a way that the yud was facing outwards, then it is valid according to all, and does not need to be reworn in the opposite way.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at Shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support our work.